In previous lecture, we are discussion of deduction of Lagrange equation from D'Alembert principle. I have just calculated up to equation A1, which I have again written here. Now in this second part of the lecture, we will complete the deduction or derivation of Lagrange equation. So we have calculated or derived up to this equation A1. Now see, in equation A1, the vectors ri dot and this vector del ri by del qk dot are in same direction. So you may say the vectors ri dot and del ri dot by del qk dot are parallel to one another. And similarly, these two vectors, the vectors ri, this is ri dot and del ri dot by del qk are also parallel. See here, this in fact dri by dt will be equal to ri dot. So in this term, this represents in fact ri dot. This represents ri dot. We know from the product of geometrical vectors, a dot b is equal to simply a times b if a is parallel to b, that is angle between these two vectors is 0. Then simply we take the product of modulus of a and b as a scalar product of the two vectors. So we can write equation A1 in equivalent form, which I am just writing here. So equation A1 may be written as, remember, in this equation we will write dri dt equal to ri dot. So what will be now this equation? This equation will be equal to summation over k qk delta qk, and this equal to, see the above equation, summation over k summation over I d dt Now this product will be written as what? This will be simply ri dot into del ri dot by del qk dot. On the basis of this result, we have written it, and minus summation over I mi ri dot times del ri dot by del qk delta qk. Just I have used the concept of a scalar product two vectors. If the two vectors are parallel to one another, that in both vectors are in same direction, or you may say angle between the two vectors is 0, then a scalar product of A and B is simply equal to product of modulus of A and B. So in the light of this result, we have simplified this and this. Now we can write this result as this result, that is summation over k qk delta qk. This equal to summation over k d dt summation over I mi d dt ri dot times del ri dot by del qk dot. Del ri dot by del qk. Sorry, here we have mistaken. I have just repeated the above equation. So this is in fact this will be summation mi ri dot del ri dot by del qk dot and minus summation over I mi ri dot times del ri dot by del qk into delta qk. Now say this is equation 1. I have not written it in continuation of the first lecture. Say this equation is 1. Now in this equation our aim is to introduce the energy term. As I have told you in the introduction of classical mechanics, that Lagrange equation is equation of motion in terms of energy. So we want to introduce the energy term in this equation, and for this we will define the kinetic energy of this system. So kinetic energy of the system. How we will define kinetic energy? We denote the kinetic energy by the symbol T. You know, we will define first of all the kinetic energy of an ith particle. I may be 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So what will be that? That will be mi ri dot square. You know ri dot represent in fact velocity of the ith particle, and now if we sum over it for the value I equal to 1 to n, then we will get the kinetic energy of our system. So this summation over I half mi ri dot square, this is kinetic energy of our system. Now In fact, we want to replace this term and this term in terms of kinetic energy. For this, we will partially differentiate T with respect to Qk and Qk dot. So we will have del T by del Qk. What will be this del T by del Qk? See this expression. We have to differentiate this with respect to Qk partially. So this will be del Qk summation over I half mi Ri dot square. And see here, in classical mechanics, mass is always constant. So half mi factor is a constant factor. So this will be summation over I half mi. Now we will differentiate this Ri dot square. It will be differentiated first of all with Ri dot. So what will be that? That will be simply 2Ri dot times. Now Ri dot will be differentiated with respect to Qk. So this is del Ri dot by del Qk. This is Ri dot. Ri dot. Now see here, this 2 and 2 will cancel out, and so our result will be what? This will be summation over I mi Ri dot del Ri dot by del Qk. See here, we have obtained del T by del Qk equal to this much. And see here in equation 1, this term has been transformed in terms of kinetic energy of the system. This term is same as this term. Now we will differentiate this kinetic energy of the system with respect to the generalized velocity, that is Qk dot. So again we find del T by del Qk dot. What will be this del T by del Qk dot? Now we will evaluate del T by del Qk dot, and the value of T is what? This is summation over I half mi Ri dot square. And see again, as you have differentiated in above, so same rule will be followed. Half mi is a constant factor, and now we will differentiate Ri dot square with respect to Qk dot. So first of all it will be differentiated with respect to Ri dot, and that will be 2 Ri dot. Now Ri dot will be differentiated with respect to Qk dot. So this will be del Ri dot by del Qk dot. Again this 2 and 2 will cancel out, and our result will be del T by del Qk dot equal to summation over I mi Ri dot del Ri dot by del Qk dot. del qk dot. So see the above equation. See the above equation. This term summation over I mi dot del ri dot by del qk dot has been evaluated in terms of, this is same, in terms of kinetic energy. So now we will substitute these two values in equation 1. Substituting these in 1. What we will find? We will find that summation over k qk delta qk, see the above equation, and this will be equal to summation over k d dt, and here will be del t by del qk dot minus del t by del qk delta qk. See this equation. We will simply rearrange the term, and after a rearrangement our equation will be what? This result may be written as, this implies summation over k d dt del t by del qk dot minus del t by del qk minus capital Qk. You know this is kth component of generalized force delta qk, and this will be equal to 0. Say this is equation number 2. Now we know that the generalized displacement delta qk are independent of generalized coordinates, and if these are independent variables, it means for any generalized coordinate the generalized displacement will be written like this, and for each generalized displacement this result is 0. This is possible only when this factor is equal to 0. So you may say the displacement delta qk are independent because of independence of generalized coordinates, and so the above relation will hold for all generalized coordinates only when the coefficients of delta qk vanish separately. That is, for k equal to 1, k equal to 2, for each and every value of k the coefficient must be 0. I just write it in very short as delta qk's are independent so for each value of delta qk, equation 2 will hold only when its coefficient is 0 separately. And therefore our result will be what? This will be d dt del t by del qk dot. Remember, qk dot is generalized velocity, minus del t by del qk and minus qk, this equal to 0. And so we may write it as d dt del t by del qk dot minus del t by del qk, and this equal to qk. Say this equation A. Actually, this is Lagrange equation for a holonomic system. This is in fact general form of Lagrange equation for a holonomic system. So you may say this is Lagrange equation One thing here we should note, this equation is in fact a second order differential equation. Its degree is 1 but order is 2, and as the value of k runs from 1 to f, so equation A represents actually f equations. For different values of k, we will write it. So if a system has f degree of freedom, then the number of Lagrange equation for that system will be equal to f. So this equation is an equation of first degree and second order. Again, another important fact is what? As k equal to 1, 2, 3, so on up to f, this implies number of equations is f. So if the system has f degree of freedom, then there will be f Lagrange equation for the system. As I have told you that the equation obtained in A, that is this equation, is the general equation of Lagrange equation of motion. This is general form. Now we will discuss its two particular forms. The first one is Lagrange equation for a conservative system. Lagrange equation for a conservative system. When I was discussing general notation, then I have just discussed the generalized potential, and you know how we define the kth component of force Qk in terms of potential. Potential means potential energy. So if V equal to potential energy of a conservative system. Then we know that the generalized force or kth component of generalized force is equal to minus del V by del Qk. And at the same time, we must remember that V is a function of position, that is generalized coordinate, not of generalized velocity for a conservative system. So if we have to write Lagrange equation for a conservative system, what we will do? We will simply do that in place of Qk, we will write minus del V by del Qk. So Lagrange equation for a conservative system what will be that? That will be simply d dt del t by del Qk dot minus del t by del Qk, and you know that in general equation there is Qk in RHS, and now for a conservative system we will replace that Qk by minus del V by del Qk. Now we will arrange this equation. We will have, this implies d dt del Qk dot. Here the term is t, but I am writing t minus v. Why I am writing this? I will explain it just after writing this. And minus del Qk t minus v, and this equals 0. See this equation. I have taken this term of RHS in LHS. So when we will combine these two terms, then the term will be like this. But here I have done an extra thing. Here is only t, but I have written t minus b in place of b. Why? Because as I have told you just now, that del V by del Qk dot is equal to 0. Since potential energy V is what? This is potential energy of the system, and we know potential energy of a conservative system is not dependent on generalized velocity. It depends on position only. So whenever we will differentiate V with respect to velocity, the result will be 0. So our result does not get altered when we write t minus b instead of t. So we may write it. Now here we introduce a very important function which is called Lagrangian of the system. Now Lagrangian of a system is defined as, in fact Lagrangian is denoted by the symbol L and it is defined as T minus V. Remember, this is very important result which will be always used in forthcoming lectures. So in terms of L, what will be the above equation? So the above equation will become d dt del L by del qk dot minus del L by del qk. See here, I have written L instead of t minus b, again L instead of t minus b, and this will be equal to 0. Actually, this is the Lagrange equation for a conservative system. One thing we must remember, that this equation for conservative system of Lagrange is in fact most important. Whenever we say Lagrange equation, we mean to say this equation, not that general equation. So it is of more practical importance. So whenever we write Lagrange equation, in almost 99% of cases we write this equation, which is actually for conservative system, but in most of the cases this situation holds. Now we will write Lagrange equation for a system which is non-conservative, or you may say when the system is acted upon by both conservative and non-conservative forces. So non-conservative system. Non-conservative system. We consider a system on which both conservative and non-conservative forces act. Let the system is acted upon by both conservative and non-conservative forces. Let us assume. Now, you know, say this qk is equal to, or you say qkc. This is kth component of generalized conservative force and qkn, this is kth component of non-conservative force acting on our system. Then the total kth component of force acting on our system will be what? That is qk, and this qk will be equal to qkc plus qkn. So now we can write the general form of Lagrange equation as we have written above. So the general Lagrange equation of motion. Lagrange equation is, as we have seen above, that the general form of Lagrange equation is what? This is actually d dt del t by del qk dot minus del t by del qk, and this equal to capital Qk. But now, what is this capital Qk? This is Qk C. This is the kth component of conservative force plus Qkn. This is the kth component of non-conservative force. Now, like above, what we will do? We will do in RHS something. First of all, write the LHS. Del d dt del t by del qk dot minus del t by del qk, and this equal to what we will write in place of qkc. You know, this will be written minus del v by del qk, where v is potential energy of our system, and plus this component of non-conservative force qkn. So again, if we will take this term in LHS and make a simple technique in the first term, that I write it d dt del qk dot t minus v. The reason behind it has already explained above, and when we will combine this term and this term in LHS, our result will be del qk t minus v, and this is equal to what? This will be in fact equal to qkn. Therefore, again we will write L in place of t minus v, and so the Lagrange equation in this case will be what? This is d dt del L by del qk dot, here is dot, minus del L by del qk, and this equal to qkn. This is actually Lagrange equation for a non-conservative system, or you may say this equation will hold when, along with the conservative force, non-conservative force also acts on our system. Say this equation is C. This is Lagrange equation for non-conservative system. Lagrange equation for a non-conservative system. So in these two lectures we have seen how Lagrange equation of motion is derived from D'Alembert's principle. Now in next lecture we will discuss some of its important applications. You will find that this equation has a great importance in solving the dynamical problems. We will take some important examples.